If you're not building your leads daily, you're building nothing. Who coined that term? Me, your boy Coach T. This is one of my favorite topics because when you have a way to generate leads, you're literally building your legacy. You're literally building a successful business. You're making an impact, but you're also giving yourself the ability to make sales. When you're able to make sales, that gives you the option to do really whatever you want within the business and without the business. But the biggest mistake I see is people, they jump too many steps ahead and they go straight to sales and they don't realize, hold on, we got to step back and we got to focus on leads. So today I'm going to tell you all of the different ways you can generate leads. I'm going to tell you what my favorite way to generate leads is. And it's going to be up to you to use these strategies in order to grow your coaching business, which is what we're here to do. And luckily, I've already been doing this for a decade and I've generated thousands of leads. So I'm pretty qualified to tell you how to do this. Now, when I first started, one of my biggest challenges was I didn't really understand who my target market was. So I was going around trying to help every and anybody. And this was me working with a a seafood restaurant, working with authors, working with people in real estate. And I was working in so many different niches. The challenge was I was trying to help everybody. So I didn't really know what was a good lead for me. And because I didn't realize what a good lead was, I could not create the messaging to attract that ideal person. So I had somebody come up to me the other day. This was on a call, but they were like, hey, you know what? I'm trying to figure out like why people aren't attracted to me. And I think something that I'm saying is off. And as I started digging in more to what he was saying, he was right. He was using general messaging and wonder why general people were coming to him that wasn't interested in his services. And when you realize that what you say literally is going to attract the type of people that you either want or don't want. So you have to be very mindful on who your ideal client is. I remember I had one of our members, she was having challenges with this on Instagram. And she was like, yo, Coach T, I keep getting all of these people that are in real estate. And she happened to be helping women, doing women empowerment. So with confidence. And I said, okay, well, let me see what let's take a look at your Instagram. And as I'm scrolling through her Instagram, I'm noticing that 95% of her posts is in real estate because she was also doing real estate. And I said, well, that's probably the reason. I said, you're not putting out enough content to attract the ideal person that you want. It's like you're putting out the wrong bait. And, you're putting out bait for an animal that doesn't eat that type of bait, right? So it's the same type of situations. You got to be. So the very first thing is you really got to get clear on what type of leads do you want, because the more you know that, the more you can tighten up your messaging. Now that we got that under control, now we can talk about the different ponds that you can fish in order to find this type of audience. So first is I'm just going to straight go on my favorite one, which is paid ads. That's my favorite one because this does not require you. You can sit back, sip on a pina colada. I had one of my clients. She went out. We started running her ads for our ads agency. And she was like, I'm getting ready to go on a 2-week vacation. What's going to happen with the leads? I said, don't worry about it. I said, go enjoy yourself, kick your feet up, have a pina colada, just chill, and come back to the leads that I send you. Now, mind you, at this point, she was only getting 5 to 6 leads every 2 weeks. She came back to 336 leads in 14 days. And she didn't have to lift a finger. And they came to her, so they were more qualified than trying to find random people. So that's why that's my favorite. So that's one way. But it's not the only way. But that's the fastest way, and that's the easiest way and the simplest way. Now, but you do have other ways, right? So another way is organic, right? So I have a strategy that's called the 25-5-1 formula. This is a strategy that I have only taught my clients. but I'm teaching y'all today, teaching you today. So the 25-5-1 formula is this: you do 25 comments. Your goal is to send out 5 DMs, and it's the book 1 appointment. Remember, we only make money by booking appointments. So we got how you get those appointments. You do that by DM if we're talking organically. Well, how do you get people to want to DM you back? It's because you're publicly commenting. So your goal is to publicly comment. I call it coaching in the comments. This is actually how I started getting my initial clients when I really started getting some momentum and started getting my followers up. And this is how I got on ET's radar. I was in ET's comments in very valuable posts, like real value, not fire, not oh my, that's great, like real valuable posts. This is before I even really knew this as a strategy. I was just like, yo, I just want to help people, and this is where the people are at. So I'm like, let me just do that. So you comment 25 posts per day, regardless of where they're at. It could be influencers, it could be groups. Wherever your people are at, you comment. It could be any social media platform. Wherever your people is at, that's where you're going to go and do the comments. Boom. So that's the organic. So now you're doing it that way. So that's another strategy. So I already gave you 2 so far. Another thing is do your own live events. Do your own webinars. When's the last time you did a webinar? When's the last time you went live and you invited people to it? So you need to be hosting your own events, your own digital events, and inviting people to it. Very simple. Talk about things, do things that your ideal client wants to know. It might be reviewing something. It might be giving out content. It might be a resource that you created for them. It could be anything that is going to be helpful to that audience. This is why it's very important for you to know who your avatar is. Because if I'm helping everybody under the sun, it's very hard for me to create something that everybody needs. See, I could do a training about lead magnets and creating this digital lead magnet and showing you how to create an ebook. And the majority of my leads, of my audience, is going to be interested. Why? Because we're all building our coaching businesses online. If I'm still helping that seafood restaurant, guess what? They don't need a lead magnet. They don't need that. It's different. So they're not going to be as interested as my ideal audience. So this is why you got to know who your audience is, but you should be doing your own virtual events and inviting people to it. So that's another way. Another way is doing your own in-person events. When's the last time you did an in-person event? When's the last time you booked the venue, you booked the hotel, you went to a bar, you got a room at a library? When's the last time you actually did that? And you invited your ideal clients out to it. And you got people, and I don't care how many it is, you don't have to go and it don't have to be 100 people. You can get 2 people, 3 people, 5 people. I've had many events where I've had only a few people there, 2, 3, 5 people, 10 people. I've had, 50, I had 100 people at my events before, but to me, it don't matter, especially if it's a meetup, it's not a big deal. Like for me, I'm cool if I go there and there's 5 or 10 people there. Like I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? I went to Atlanta. I'm in New York. I've flown out to Atlanta before, done an event out there, and had like 10 people. Flew out from New York to Atlanta for a crowd of like 10. I'm cool. I'm completely cool with that, right? Because I'm providing value to my audience, so those people are leads that are coming through. But then also, it's also very engaging when you record it and then you also put that out as content, or you put that out as a lead magnet. So that itself could be its own lead magnet. I've done many events where I've recorded the entire event and I've used that event itself as a masterclass or course and used that as a lead magnet, right? So what about your own in-person events? You could be doing that to generate leads. This is the one that most people only think about, but it's like going out and going to other events. You could go to networking events. You could go to conferences. You could go to seminars. You can go to meetups. This is you actually going. Now, here's a mistake a lot of folks make. They go to any event. They're just going to any networking event. Well, if you have a particular ideal audience, wouldn't it make more sense to you to go to an event where there's a higher percentage of your ideal audience in the room? Wouldn't that make more sense? Instead of going to a general conference, a general networking conference, you see what I'm saying? You have a higher likelihood of going to an event where more of your ideal clients are at. So I would recommend that you search for those and you see, okay, here's the different events that I can go to. And when you go to these events, you can, you have the ability to network. Another thing you can do to get clients is you can do speaking engagements. Speaking engagements, they work very well. So now you're not just the person that's in the audience, you're the person that's on stage. An extra benefit of being the person that's on stage is you have what you call authority. So once you become that authority, you have now instant credibility with the audience. Sometimes if you sit next to somebody in a crowd on a seminar, they don't really know how much credibility you have. They don't really know how much authority you have. And this is what makes people believe you and say, oh, I want to work with you. But if you're on that stage, you instantly have authority because people will say, oh, he or she must be somebody of importance to be able to make it up on that stage. So you instantly have credibility and authority, which means when you make your call to action, hey, I'm gonna be back there by the table. Hey, if you want to download these slides, take a picture of this QR code. Hey, text me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You see what I'm saying? So that gives you more of an opportunity to build your business. Another way, I forgot where we at right now. We're probably on 6 or 7. Another way is you give out your lead magnet. Very simple. You should be creating, and I tell my clients this, you should be creating your own digital products, free and or paid, at least once a quarter. And I recommend definitely free at least a few times a year. So when you do your free a few times a year, that gives you the ability to give away something. And what is that trigger? The law of reciprocity. The law of reciprocity is triggered, which means people say, oh, wow, you just gave me this thing. This is that's very kind of you. That's very valuable of you. You know what? I feel like I at least owe you a follow. I feel like I want to look at more of your stuff. I want to pay more attention to what you got going on. I want to watch more of your videos. I want to subscribe to your YouTube. I want to open your emails when you send out an email. I want to come to this webinar you just invited me to. I want to buy a ticket to this live event. So that law of reciprocity, even if they don't immediately turn around and buy something from you, they're at least going to start paying more attention to you. So that is another way to generate leads. So these are things that you should be doing, right? And I'll give you one more. Do a direct call to action. This is actually the one that I do the least, but it's still effective. Oh, actually, I'll give you something else too. But this is what I would say with that one is direct call to action. I probably do that maybe only once or twice a month. And this is where literally I would just do a post or a video and just say, yo, I'm looking to bring on some coaches. I'm looking to help a couple people out this week. If you need some help, this is like the direct. This is the one where you see people who they'll do this every day and it becomes salesy. You don't want to be that type of person, but you can do it sometimes. So typically maybe, I don't even think I did it last month, but maybe once a month, twice a month, I'll put out a post where it's just like a direct post. And sometimes you do want to put that out so people can actually know, because I've seen people where they'll just keep putting out content and people don't even know they have services for sale. Right. So you don't want to be all the way on that side where people don't even know you're selling something and they just like, okay, cool. I just thought you like to put out motivational stuff. I didn't know you really did this as a business. So you can do that. Another thing is you see people putting out their challenges. So challenges is a good way too. The reason people are doing challenges is that condenses the buy-in cycle. So for somebody to be interested to work with you, they have to have a certain amount of information. So there is some people that are hot. Hot basically means when they come in, you really don't have to do that much persuading or influence. Like they already want it. Like, God forbid, if I broke my arm right now, the hospital doesn't have to. They don't have to schedule a strategy call with me to go to the hospital. Like, yo, let me in the hospital and send me the bill later. What are we talking about? Right? So if somebody's in enough pain, they'll be willing to jump on and buy faster. But if somebody is not really not in enough pain, if I get pinched, well, I'm not in enough pain to like go to the hospital. So I need to increasingly get in more pain over time in order for me to do something, because that's what's going to make us move, is when we feel enough pain. This is why the person who is overweight, they haven't been losing weight, but as soon as they catch a heart attack and they go to the doctor, and the doctor says, if you catch one more heart attack, it's going to be all over and you're not going to make your daughter's 18th birthday. All of a sudden, they losing all of this weight, right? It's because it's that those are the things that typically make people turn around. It's the person who has the hit rock bottom and almost lost their life, or they lost their family, or they went on drugs and something dramatic, devastating happened, and now they got to turn. Now they turn their life around. So they had time to turn their life around all the way up here, but they had to go smack rock bottom in order to get it. So that's the reason why that is motivating the people. So basically we do that by putting out more content and giving people more context to what's going on. So that's why putting out more content is important. Doing more videos, doing more challenges. So what the challenge thing is, you might do a challenge and somebody will consume 5 hours of you. So let's say if you did a 5-day challenge and somebody consumes 5 hours, then that means that you've taken what probably would have took them a year of watching your content to get 5 hours. You condensed it in 5 days. Think about that. And the reason I say a year is because think about it like this. The average person probably watches 15 to 20 seconds of an Instagram reel or short. You see what I'm saying? So which means that they would have to watch so many 15 to 20 second clips, which they're probably not watching it of you every day. If they're lucky, they might see 1 or 2 things from you per week. And so which means that it's going to take them so long in order for them to watch 5 hours from you, which if you just did a challenge, you just gave them a bunch of information in a short period of time. And then once everybody has their own threshold, once they've seen enough, they're going to be like, I seen enough. And they're going to want to work with you. So that is how this works. So if you like this and you're like, yo, I'm liking these concepts, Coach T, a couple things you could do. Number one, I have a masterclass that is $49. It is actually inside of the inside of the classroom area. So if you're watching this through school, if you're not in my school, you have to attend the school. You have to go inside of my community in order to get this. But for everybody who's watching this right now, just go ahead and comment free masterclass. And what I'll do is I'll send you the link to the group so you can get inside of the masterclass. So just comment, and I'll throw it up here. Comment free masterclass. And then what I'll do is I'll send you the link. Come inside of the group. And by the way, these are, if you think this is good, like I go deeper even inside of the group, and I give more resources away, like this masterclass. So if you want access, comment masterclass. I'll give you access to my $49 masterclass completely free, only for the people that are watching right now live. So if you're watching now live, I got you. If you missed this, you happen to not be on live, you can still go to the group. Just pay the $49. Okay. So go ahead and do that. Also, another thing is Saturday, March 28th. Write this down. Saturday, March 28th. I'm doing what we call our AUPCS boot camp. So I'm excited about that. Each and every year, I bring out all of my coaches, and that's part of our community. And we literally are getting results in the building. So I'm excited about that. We're going to be hosting that in New York City. That's coming up. That's going to be the end of March. So be ready. We're going to have speakers. I mean, it's going to be a phenomenal time. It's going to be a great time for networking, and it's going to be a great time to get things done. All right. So if we're going to be doing it together in the building, I would love to shake your hand or to take pictures together and all of that good stuff. So that is Saturday, March 28th. So make sure that you do that. Other than that, if you want the masterclass, go ahead and put free masterclass in the comments.